Welcome to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. The ACIO has a long history of helping humanity from the deep recesses of time. This is the first time the ACIO has become available to the public, aside from an earlier visitation by their 15th Division, the Wingmakers. Peter the Insider, originally from Slovakia, is the director of their 12th Division, and Jessica Arael Morocco is in Cicada 3301, their 6th Division. Together, they provide intel, insights on current events, a deeper perspective on aliens and UFOs, super soldier missions with Unit 374 and the Merge, and news relevant for disclosure. Don't forget to subscribe to keep updated with our latest intel and post any questions and comments below.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. We have Peter the Insider here. I know you all have been waiting to find out what his point of view, his intel, and all the content that he wants to bring in regarding the world is kind of gone crazy. So without further delay, we're going to get right into it with Peter. Hello, Peter. How are you?
So I want to say hello to you, Jessica, and to all of our regular and maybe not so regular viewers and listeners. Oh my God, tons of stuff happened since we heard and seen last time, and to be perfectly honest, I even don't know where the heck should we start. So, first things first, I think that I highly, and I mean highly, recommend to see or to watch the movie Matrix 4, aka Matrix, what it is? Resurrections. And I will tell you, because this is not new, okay? This is like maybe 2.5 years old movie. Why it is so special for us right here, right now? Because they, aka elites, or in this particular case, Mobius, in cooperation with Monarch, they restarted the Matrix to new version, brand new version, and they started simulation within simulation, and they are calling it modal, my bad, not model as nice looking young women, not model, but modal with a, okay? What is the problem here and main concern, not only mine but the whole ACIO's concern? They are using emergency stuff, what is like 10% plus. Okay, it's 2 years, how can I say it? You know, these 2 emergency years, because normal, let's say in this military terminology, safe to do so, normal time traveling step is 20 years. And if you really need to do something extremely extraordinary important, you can add 10%. What is AKA? It's easy to 2 years. Okay, so that's the stuff. They released the movie, right?
Yeah.
And they absolutely perfectly fitted. They matched 2 years plus. And this is something much bigger than even they are. I mean, the whole, this is crap. For them, it is crap. This reality, they, or this context of existence, call it as you like or as you want, they throw it into the trash can. It's like, nah, it's piece of garbage, right? Even they understand, they realized that there is something much, and I mean much bigger than they are, okay? And that's the problem. I personally, with my wife, with Unit 374, with another Black Ops operations units, we were trapped in it was mess. This reality or context of existence, it was, or let's say that we were trapped in for, oh, it was like 80 years or 90 years.
Wow.
No, because that's need to be clarified very precisely, because time correlation in there and here in our, I'm calling it initial reality, or pardon me, initial context of existence, it's absolutely different. It's totally different. You can't, correlate it. And it was 88 years, because it's like 40. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So 2 time steps, but with emergency stuff. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it is 44, but 2 times. Oh my God. It is absolutely crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and it feels like the team is distant, even though they're not. There's nothing wrong. There's no problems. But like if I try to tune into them, it's like they weren't there, when, or even there was like this distance. So that makes sense to me. But was I there as well?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything felt weird. Yeah.
I mean, not you as you, not in your initial yourself, right, but another aspect of you. Yep.
Right, which impacts what I'm feeling, what's going on over here, and feeling like, how can I say it? It's almost like the volume is muted. It's way down.
Yeah.
But
do you know what? Give me a second, please. This Matrix movie, it's pretty much like calling about Matrix, about construct. What means like everything is completely white and you can make any simulation. And this model, it is pretty much, if we are talking about Matrix within Matrix within Matrix, it is reference to another movie, Inception, what is like pretty much the same case, but it is about dreaming, or daydreaming, lucid dreams, vivid dreams, or something like that. And pretty much you don't know what is dream. And I mean, when you are sleeping and dreaming, or maybe even daydreaming or whatsoever, and what is really, so let's say real, what is pretty much when you are awake, and so on and so on, right? So that's pretty much some sort of mix of those movies, right?
Yeah.
And this context of existence slash reality, it was pure mess. It was pure mayhem. It was some sort of mix of cyberpunk, but definitely not number as year, 2077. No, it was like this kind of stuff of cyberpunk-ish stuff from video game, then Metro reality. I mean, this, what it is? Metro Exodus, Metro, what it was, the first Last Light, and first Metro was what? I can't remember right now. So
I can look it up. So on Metro,
it is trilogy, just by the way.
yeah.
It's trilogy.
So Peter, I mean, you had some strong difficulties. Do you want to share some of the different things that you
Oh,
went
why the
through?
heck not? I mean, once they were difficulties, they were difficulties. You know, we were trapped in weird, and I mean really weird prison. Okay. Oh my god. And what it was, man? It was what it was. That's the question.
And do you know what that where that reality is, or you can't talk about what that reality is?
Okay, I got it. It is Metro 2033, then Metro Last Light, and what it was. Ah, my.
This is 2033.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get into that. All right.
And Metro Exodus. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, the Exodus right here.
Yeah, this is
That's
absolutely crazy. This is absolutely crazy. So I am just saying, you know, that I am not perfect, and I know that it's trilogy, but I wasn't sure about which kind of game was first, second, and so on and so on. I just knew that it was 2033, Last Light, and Exodus. Okay, that's fine. So mix of cyberpunk, Metro, some sort of post-apocalyptic crap. I don't understand the whole thing, the whole purpose, and and of course Matrix,
Yeah.
and you can have whatever you want. You can make materialization, and I was like, what in the world do you want? And I was like, no. And that was maybe the part of reasons, you know, why there was so much chaos in there, you know, because it was absolutely crazy. It was so crazy, absolutely. It was like you were in your flat or in your condo, or maybe if you have a house. Yeah, it is so, you know, nice and easy, nice and cheesy, you know. Even if you have front yard and backyard, and if you open the main gate, the main door, everything was totally different. And I was like, what in the world is wrong with this reality? Yeah, everything was wrong with this reality. It was so crazy.
So is it in the future, Peter? Is this the future?
Okay. I don't understand, okay? And I mean, I don't want to say I don't understand. I don't know. You can't correlate the time, okay? You can't correlate the years, okay? We were stuck there for almost 90 years, and we didn't aged, okay? We aged not 90 years approximately, and we aged not in this reality but in their reality. We aged what, like 9 days or something like that. Everything was different. It's so weird.
So were we in battle, or we were all in survival mode?
you know, in battle mode, problem is we even didn't knew, or let's say we don't know, that's the problem, who is or who are quotes in quotes bad boys, the bad guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it becomes very blurry and confusing,
Yeah.
you know, who did what. And I mean, that's actually happening here. People are looking around, and we have this new conflict in Israel and Palestine. We have the ongoing one in the Ukraine and Russia.
But I don't want to say only those two ones, because look, how many of another wars are all around the world, pretty much all
that we're
around
not
the world.
even that we don't talk about, or it's not in the news.
Yep.
In the US at least. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's ongoing conflicts in different places. And so you don't really like you know, as unless you're actually
You've got Syrian war, you've got Yemen war since 2004. Pretty much all the time you've got ongoing wars in either civil wars or states, you know, by each other
Yep.
or in each other in Africa. The same crap in Latin America, South America, and nobody's talking about it.
Well, people just grew accustomed that that's the way their society is, and it's not. So is this the wars then perpetuate into this reality, or is this reality impacting what we're experiencing here right now?
Oh, definitely, you are right. You are right.
So that these are bleed-throughs?
Definitely. Everything of this here, it's huge bleed-through, not bleed-throughs, like multiple. It's huge bleed-through, because there, for any stupid reason, you kill somebody and police don't take care about it. It's like you rob somebody because, you know, just few bucks, and they don't care about it.
Right.
It was so weird for me.
Now, I know that in Las Vegas they have a police force that's called the Metro. They call it the Metro. And there's a lot of things that are going on out in Las Vegas. And I was recently talking to a friend of mine who lives out there, and I was looking at some things around her, and it almost looked like that Fallout reality was trying to come back, or is bleeding through as well. You know, there's a lot of things going on in that space, people doing all sorts of rituals, I think Burning Man and all sorts of stuff that opens things up even further.
Yeah.
So do you know much about if Fallout is involved in this, or?
Yeah, pretty much you are right. It's so weird. Oh my god. I don't know what the heck should I think.
Well, so there's not it's not accidental that their police force is called Metro then.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's so weird.
There was an alarm that went off from FEMA recently, and you know, to I don't know, on everybody's phone, and people were really freaked out because they were told that it was kind of an audio kill of frequency. I don't know anyone that died from the frequency. I know that it turned on twice with mine, even though I shut the phone off completely. And so whatever is happening, this alarm going off. But one weird thing that happened, I remember a few years back, I was talking to you and I had to bring my car to the garage, and somewhere in the Matrix movie, they talk about the name Lafayette. Like we're going to Lafayette Street. Well, the garage that I went to was on Lafayette Street, and I always said Lafayette was a previous life of Joe Biden's. That was his previous life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So I remember going there, and I could not leave that garage. It was like 7 hours for them to do something very basic. And you kept on asking me, you said you want to talk or you wanted to take care of something, and I couldn't leave. And then the news was running, and the emergency broadcast should have been about New Hampshire, because they only do an emergency broadcast about their own state. But it was an emergency.
My question is, why you are so surprised about having mirrors or mirrored mirrors? Give me a second. Mirrored mirrors. That means pretty much teleport, and that's the problem. If you are in control of teleports, pretty much like, for example, it was what it was in last Matrix movie, mirrors, right? They serves or they are serving as a door for to living out the Matrix. You know, they are mirroring mirrors there, so they are the elites. They are running the system, and that's my question: why you are so, how can I say it, surprised that something like that can happen? I mean, this story, I don't want to say story because story can be faked, but do you know what I mean? This kind of anomaly, right? It is normal because we are not living in normal world, or let's say in a regular world. That's my question, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I remember telling you that, and you said that I was in there was a problem and that was bad, and I thought it was bad too, because it was so abnormal. It wasn't the normal. Yeah, I mean, it's usually not a very happy situation, bringing your car to the garage and then waiting for the bill, but this was something different, where I really felt everyone was weird. Everybody in that garage was weird. There was a guy that was like, "Oh yeah, I know how to fix this," and blah blah blah. And then he was in there, and it looked like he was roaming from car to car, like he was confused. The whole thing was just, it was bizarre. And maybe that, like you said, maybe we just teleported at that point, and then everything got all messed up.
Definitely not maybe.
Okay.
It happened, okay? And I am surprised that you are surprised.
Well, after watching that movie again, then I picked up that they said Lafayette, and I'm like, I don't even remember hearing that, but it didn't mean anything when I watched it earlier. So rewatching that movie was very interesting. And as you said, the mirrors, because that's what they start going through, the mirrors. And he is struggling over whether or not he believes that he's sane, and trying to figure out, is this guy actually in front of me, or are these people showing up with guns and they start killing everyone? What is actually happening here? And he tries to ground himself, saying, I don't know how to deal with it. And there are moments where, you're looking around and saying, all right, there's something else going on here, but your mind starts telling you, no, this is your imagination. It's not happening. And then you try to ground yourself. And this is where people like us get in trouble because you start to talk about these things, about these anomalies, and people think, all right, that's just weird. Like, who is that person that you're talking about? Or do you have any proof? Or and it's really hard to validate some of these things unless you're actually, videotaping it, or using your phone to record whatever's happening.
Pretty much even that is useless, because in those cases, I don't want to say all the time, but 95, maybe even 98, 99% of the cases, you are making video footage, okay? You are taking it, But
Yeah.
once if you go to quotes in quotes regular mode, regular point of view or regular existation, uh, nothing like this video footage or those photos exists. And you are like, what the heck? What in the world happened? I just made it. Nope, because electronics and everything in this context of existence works absolutely different way in comparison with another
Yeah.
context of existence.
I was wondering about that. Yes. Yeah, yeah, like I felt like certain things were happening when I go to take a picture. Like when I went to Donald Trump's house. I was in Florida and I went there and I had the video recording, and then security yelled at me for being there. So I went to go in my car and I looked and I had absolutely nothing. I had nothing. It was
Do you know
gone.
what? I'm not surprised. No, I mean it for real. I am not. I am not. Mm-mm.
It was Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, it was weird. It was very weird. And then also another thing that happened, Peter, that one of my clients, I saw his doppelganger twice, or clone, or whatever you want to say. I was in a coffee shop and I was sitting down. Usually I don't sit by the door, but I sat by the door. And some guy opened the door like he was leaving, and he turned and looked at me and he says, "I'll see you later." And I was like, wait a minute. He looked just like this friend of mine, right? So I went to grab my phone and I ran outside. I was going to take a picture of him. And then I looked around. He was gone. Like literally, like I looked down the
And
alleyways,
give
I
me a
looked to the
second.
street.
My question is, why in the world you are so surprised? That's my question.
Well, then it happened again. I was in
Ah,
an
okay.
I was in a Starbucks just recently. So that happened probably about a month and a half ago. About last week, I was in a Starbucks, and strange things can happen in Starbucks. And so I just walked in there. There was actually, when I parked, there was a whole bunch of police officers, and there was a guy standing there complaining about the police and saying, I usually don't have a problem with the police, but blah, blah, blah. And he was like, just like a vagrant, and I wasn't really looking at him, but obviously there was some kind of issue happening, but there were way too many police for this guy. It didn't make any sense. So I went inside, and then I went to use the restroom, and then I saw this picture, not a picture. I took a picture of the bathroom because the light fixture reminded me of something from ancient Egypt, those big huge lights. And I can
I
I can
know
get that
what are you talking about? Yep.
Dendera, I think they call it Dendera lights. And so I took a picture of it, and then I went and I came back out, and that guy's still out there with all those police. And then the police are walking away, and he's still talking. And I looked at him, I said, "Oh my God, it looks like my friend." But see, I came from behind him, and when he turned sideways, I said, that's him again. So there's something going on with that guy. And he lives in Detroit, where Detroit becomes human, right? So, and
This
weird
is
things
this
happen
is
there.
about it. What we not are, but we were talking about for what? For years, not for weeks or months, for years. And in the very start, very few, not weeks, very few first months, nobody believes us till things starts to happen.
A lot of weird things are happening.
But do you
Yeah.
know what? Do you know what is or what was absolutely crazy? I will tell you what was crazy. How we ended up trapped in that context of existence. We were going through details of certain important mission. Pretty much like set of missions. Do you know what I mean? Here and there and there and here. And then they were like, I was like, oh my God. This is Galactic Intercommandant. He showed very seldom, like in extremely important and critical situation. And he said to Nemesis, Euro 9, she's Nemesis, and she said, oh my God, they didn't knew? And he was like, no, they didn't. And then Nemesis get this, you know, how can I say it, this kind of stuff, special stuff, and she hit the ground. You know what I mean.
All right. There is an individual that you're saying is called the Galactic Intercommander.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
What is her role?
No. Nemesis, and then there is it's she, and then it's commander or commandant, okay, and he's
Oh, like commandant, like that, like commandant.
Yeah. As you said, yeah.
All right. So, and what she is in control of?
No. Nemesis is one entity, and this commandant of dimension or and galactic commandant is another person. And then Nemesis simply took the wand, you know, and she hit the wand, or magic wand, if you want to call it that way.
Like a van, like a truck?
What? Wand. Like a rod, magic rod. Do you know what I mean?
A wand.
Wand,
Okay.
yeah. And once it hit the ground, the ground, sorry, my bad. We were gone, and we ended up in that reality, and I mean in this and at that mess reality. It was so crazy. Oh my God.
All right. So who are the masses?
Sorry, what?
Who are the masses?
Nemesis?
Nemesis? Can you?
You don't
know?
Nemesis.
A nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis. Yeah, I wrote it. I wrote in the chat. It was so crazy. It was so crazy.
Who was the good one? Who's the bad one? Or is the
No, both of them are superiors. But the problem is we have no clue, or we had at least, what was the goal of the mission, what will be mission about, and everything. It was absolute mess.
So you still have no idea what the mission was.
Give me a second. At this time, yeah. But at that time, it was so crazy. No, we don't have. Oh my.
Were we successful in the mission?
Yeah, we were, but you know, still, it's so crazy, man. Man.
Did it stop? I mean, it was supposed to be worse. Some of the war and.
Oh my God, it will be much worse once we will be not there.
Right. Yeah, that's what I felt like. It's like an ongoing thing that we're being pulled into to try to shift to whatever it is.
Because pretty much we were in this prison, or we ended up in this prison, if you want to call it that way.
Who put us there? Did you figure out who put us there? In the prison? What was it? Anything related to this galactic commander, commandant, or the Nemesis?
Nemesis. Pretty much they just want to get info out of us, and they put in all of us some sort of parasites. I've
Yeah,
got
remember that
worms.
part.
I've got
Yeah.
worms. My wife got a huge snake, crazy ass long snake. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've got worms
That's
in
that's how
my.
they got
I've got
that's how they got
worms.
the information.
Sorry, what?
That's how they got the information by putting parasites in you.
They believe that we are not immune of that, but we are, and that drove them crazy. They started to make mistakes, and we were able to free ourselves from from this capture. I've got
Yeah.
plenty of worms. My wife got 3 snakes. It was so crazy.
Wow.
It was so crazy.
And then you figured a way out.
Yeah. It was pretty much like in this game, Callisto Protocol.
That's what I was thinking, that the black guy in prison.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
because there was something that came, somewhere I was looking at the name Io, which is another one of the moons there.
Oh yeah, you are right. You are right.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
came up last week. I was researching something and I saw Io and I'm like, all right, there must be something going on over there in Io. Yeah.
Yeah. It is so crazy. And people even, I don't know if, let's say, I will be not so surprised if people will not believe all this kind of revelation, but the things
Well,
are things.
you can't deny that the world is very strange right now. I mean, you just can't deny it. And I know that I explain things because I'm kind of in the middle of it, and I have different things going on around me. It's not an everyday experience, but I do get quite a few people that contact me with some really strange information. And so, it's not just me. I know that there's a large population out there and a lot of people that are denying it because they don't know how to process the information, or they're very much like Neo, who is in denial of what is happening around him because he doesn't know how to deal with it without compromising his life and then actually finding out that he ends up in a prison or something like that, like,
Oh
or
yeah,
a
pretty, yeah,
psychiatric ward. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you're trying to avoid a big problem, um, and trying to, stay in a balanced level where you're still, managing your life in a way that is
But
is
give
pretty
me a
normal.
second.
But
Give me a second. But this is the problem. You you can let's say you can hide from the truth, but the question is for how long, okay? Because you are living in pretty much quotes in quotes dream world. It is just a facade. It's piece of crap. This world is piece of crap.
it is like the different things that they've done to it, or all of these new matrices. So we talked about how they did a reset in 2012, so that then they moved it up later.
Oh
I
yeah.
was looking at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs went out and did this video, this really revealing video about, 1984 is not going to happen. And so it's almost like a shift happens.
Yeah, and give me a
Um,
second. I don't know if you realize, but he didn't die. He didn't die. He was extracted. But do you know where? To another context of existence, to fifth array density. But when? 1 year before the reset. 2K11. Huh? 2K11.
Peter, I've been talking to him.
No, I believe you. I
He
believe you.
started communicating. I'm going to share with everyone at some point, but I'll share everything that happened. It's really bizarre, really, really strange what happened.
And do you know what was crazy or so crazy with us being it in that reality slash context of existence, all of those scientists and also artists were there, and I was like, okay, this is not right. Like Einstein, you know, Tesla and Newton and so on, Leibniz and so on, Euler. And I was like, okay, I understand you guys. This is bad. And Bosch, just by the way. And I mean not Harbor Bosch we talked about, but Hieronymus Bosch with this. He painted those crazy pictures. Do you know what I mean? Hieronymus Bosch.
Yeah,
Hieronymus Bosch. And I was like,
yeah.
okay, guys, you are here in one Archimedes, just by the way, all kind of Platon and so on and so on. And I was like, okay, guys, this is next level crap. Why in the world you are here at one time in one place? This is not good. And they were, let's say, they don't understand, let's call it that way. Why I don't understand? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, look at this picture. It is crazy. Look at this picture. It is so crazy.
Yeah, all of them are crazy. Yep. Look at that.
Yeah, it doesn't make, I mean, it is symbology, but I'm just saying. Look.
I went to the museum. I actually went to the museum in the Netherlands, and it is pretty wild.
Isn't this so crazy? And I mean it for real, okay? I mean it for real. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Oh my God.
It is. It's pretty wild, and you know, you can see they try to show everyday life, but you know, all this stuff is around them.
Yes. I mean, let's say they tried, but in very sort of weird way. Do you know what I mean? And once we realize, oh my God.
I think that's someone else that did that.
Nah, but give me a second. I'm just saying, okay, be serious. I'm just saying that we were like, oh my God, this is abnormal. This is not okay, right?
Yeah.
All kind of those things.
This is an interesting picture, and I've seen that type of symbology in movies. You know,
yeah.
This they do that a lot with hands for some reason. You know, if you cut off the hand, then they can't fight you. But I just recently watched another show called Orphan Black, and they cut through the hands like that. I don't know if you've ever you know about that show, Peter, where it's about these multiple clones.
So I'm just saying, you know, oh my God, this is crazy too, right?
Yeah, that is really crazy. So the other one you talked about was Archimedes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, you know, isn't all of this stuff crazy? And I mean it, okay, really crazy. Oh my.
No, this one has come up for me. Someone by the name of Lysander, a Spartan warrior. He came up. I was seeing him and this other guy by the name of Demetrius. I heard the name. I started looking it up, and I'm like, why are they around me? They're like soldiers. Let's see if Demetrius. Nope, that's not it. I think he was like some kind of a warrior, Demetrius, in history.
So give me a second. I'm just saying, okay, that all of those people, philosophists, you know, scientists, and so on, they were at that one place, and I was like, aye, this is that will be bad. And it was. Oh my God.
So
You
so
know,
these guys, these ancient Greek guys, do you think that they're showing up because of some of the things that we did, some of the trips? And this is what he was like involved with. I think he raided India,
yeah,
which is
like give me a second. I'm just saying, like Socrates, Plato. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
All kind of those what uh
Philosophers, Greek philosophers.
philosophers. Yeah, yeah. It's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And but they weren't supposed to all
Or
be in one location.
Xenophanes, you know,
Which
Heraclitus.
one? Plato,
Xenophanes, Xenophanes.
Xenophanes,
Yeah, Heraclitus, you know, it's so crazy.
Hercules.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. As I said, Plato, you know, Aristotle, all of them, many of them were there. It's
You
so.
said Einstein. You said Einstein and
But give me a second. It was from ancient time, and right here, right now, it was so crazy. Yeah, I mean from 19th, 20th century, and so on and so on and so on.
but you said that they were trying to pull the great minds from our reality. Was that
Yes,
Mobius?
yes, but I'm just saying it was so weird because look, all of them were there. It must be for a reason. And my question is, why in the world? What in the world was the reason? I don't understand, and I didn't understand. You know, it's
Right.
and
Well, but
they were in this hidden community. It was almost some sort of, I don't want to say cult. I don't want to say like those Illuminati and so on and Freemasonry or something like that, like making bad things. Definitely not. But it was like, no, 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 no. Don't touch our thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then, and I will tell you how we get, or let's say how we figure out even that they were there, because we met each other. I mean the unit and so on and so on, and Black Ops operation. I mean unit 374 and so on and so on. We met. It was big meeting at one vantage point, and then they started to came, and I was like, what? This is crazy. What in the world?
so
Yeah,
but that's because they mixed everything up by adding this other matrix on top. It's like a babushka, right? Sort of.
exactly, Babushka. Can you please show our listeners what does it mean, Matryoshka or Babushka? I mean, it is kind of complicated to clarify with words. Just one picture, and people will get, because it is like extremely small doll within bigger doll and within bigger doll and so on and so on and so on. It is like matrix within a construct within modal, or modal within construct, and so on. It was absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, actually, nah, where the heck you are? They are so great. Nice. Aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean,
I always
we
liked them, but now that I know what they do, yeah.
we should, yeah. So pretty much you can divide them to bottom and upper and downer half, and you can put this smallest one to the, where the heck it is. We can't see the principal. Geez. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
it.
I'm looking for it where they all fit inside one, so
Do you know
like,
what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
It's kind
sometimes
of,
they turn it sideways and you can see like upside down and you can see them all inside of there.
Yeah, do you know what do you know what we
Yeah,
are looking
like
for?
this, you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
kind of see that one goes
Yeah,
inside.
exactly this. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So you have this babushka scenario
Principle.
happening with
Or
principle happening with Mobius. So let's take a look at Mobius, and Mobius is very tricky, you know, because the date that you the ACIO had corrected was it May 20. I don't know why
no, please. April 26th,
April.
2020.
And I should have that memorized, but they keep wiping it on me. So let's go to the ACIO site.
Okay.
And we're going to take a look at the worldwide corporations. Is Monarch also involved with what's going on? Because you know, we
Of
see Monarch
course. I mean,
vision.
give me a second. What do you think that Monarch is not involved? Okay, and be be honest.
I
Sorry, I
know that
should laugh.
they work pretty much together, and there's a movie coming out that it says Monarch right on that, and people are like, I can't believe this. You know, some of the things that you've been talking about Monarch for years as a corporation, and you know, it's coming out in these movies.
Yeah, that's true.
I want to bring up something I think is really important, because and I don't remember a lot of this information because I rewatched the movie The Matrix,
Okay.
and he mentioned something like, so
But
essentially
give me a second. Give me a second. Which one? Because there are four of them.
the one that we just what is it called?
Resurrections.
Resurrection.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to call it Revolution. Resurrections. And he pretty much he comes right out and says, this is so essentially what you're saying is my life is the movie. So when you see like these movies and they're disclosing everything, in some way, some of those people could be trapped. Their life becomes this movie. Is
Give me,
that how it's working?
give
Because
me a second.
are
Give
they?
me a second. Pretty much most of the people in the world are trapped in this dream reality. And people, they start to think. I am not saying that they start to believe all kind of weird ass and conspiracy theories that they set themselves free. No, I'm not saying like that, okay? I am saying people, they start to think. They start to think even about something being possible, something what is out of being ordinary. Do you know what I mean? That's the stuff. I am not saying, hey, here we are people, we are here for making some sort of sensation. I mean, we as ACIO or me in particular. No, I am skeptic. Okay, maybe I mean, I don't want to say maybe. It sounds absolutely counterproductive and controversial, but once I personally myself, I didn't I didn't live, I didn't went through. I am skeptic of it. Okay, I am skeptic. Even I am doubting even our source of information. Let's we can call it, let's call it database, right? Because I wasn't there when this database was written, okay? Okay, I wasn't there. Let's say, according to the information, I am believing, give me a second, 100%, let's say 20 to 30% of the information. I am not saying that I don't believe anything, no, but I am those like 70 to 80%, I am only taking it as a possibility of being true or not being the truth, okay? It can be 100% true or absolute crap, okay? And that's the stuff. Being truth seeker, that means you are not like, yeah, he or she is believing all kind of crappy conspiracy theories. No, I am saying that you even should start to think about strange things, okay? Or weird things.
I think
Having coincidences, do you know what I mean? Really strange coincidences. But that's the problem. There are, let's call it, two poles of the people. Being absolutely the first group, people, they are absolutely skeptical and they don't even want to think about those kind of phenomenon. And second group of people, they are up. They are up for everything, and that's the stuff. It is not like they want to believe. They want to have some sort of sensation, something what is next level craziness, and that's the problem. Once we will have only those two kind of side by side people, what they are not side by side, they are fighting each other. I don't like this. Why in the world they are, or they are not, let's say they are not people, they are doubting things and they are questioning things, and they are, or let's say they don't want to make their own research. That's my question. What in the world is wrong with people all around the world? That's my question, huh?
Well,
What
I
do you
think
think?
like in the Matrix, Peter, they talk about the blue-pilled people, people that have taken the blue pill and they're content to be in that scenario. Although the weird things that are happening in our reality regarding, like we had that heavy flooding in New York, we had, the incident that broke out in Israel. There's just so many different things that are going on right now, and it's the world is weird, and so anyone who is in denial that the world is in a weird place is not willing to look at. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's forcing people that are, oh, I don't believe any of that. I just want to live my life. I don't want to look at all these things. And then they're having these really strange dreams or in denial of recalls. There's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, you can repress it and you can push it down, but it kind of makes you more unbalanced. It does help to be able to talk to someone about it. I can't tell you how many people I had to talk to that didn't want their spouse knowing what they were discussing, regarding a recall or an experience. And it's really hard. It's challenging, for a lot of people. Although at this point, I think it's starting to open up a little bit more, and it has to, because not everyone is going through all of these different experiences, but everyone's going through their own experience, and that makes it unique. Not everyone's supposed to. It's not supposed to be identical to everybody.
Give me a second, please. I need to correct you. Believe me or not, if some people, I mean, no, I don't want to say some. If certain people will go through certain situation, what will be also called trigger for them, believe me or not, more than 95%, what is 19 out of 20 people in the world, it just for some sort of better imagination, believe me or not, more than 95% population in the world where or was in some sort of weird ass situation. Even maybe our listeners will be like, nah, it's crap, some sort of poor people, or let's say native people having you know, some sort of, let's say, native, how we can call it, natural religion in either in Africa or in Latin America, on certain part, and just by the way, big part of Asia. They were not, believe me. Even they were. And do you know what is crazy? Those people are not trapped, if we want to call it that way. They are not tied with, or let's say within, how can I call it, lines and boundaries of also called, quotes in quotes, regular civilization, either Western or Eastern civilization, it doesn't matter, because, you know, context, political and, or let's say historical and geographical, and of course political context, when and where you was born, it creates strongly, and it is you know, depending, making some sort of patterns in your mind. But if you are just some sort of native people, you know, like in the bushes, or in the just by the way, here in Australia, you know,
Yeah.
the Aborigines, or maybe being in Africa, as I said, or being Pygmalions in Africa, or maybe being in Amazon forests, you know, they don't have something like that, and they will feel free. They will feel free to talk about something like that, because they don't have such a rules. They don't have as we have, or they don't have some sort of boundaries like, oh my God, if I start to talk about something like this, people will absolutely isolate me. Nah, they are not like that. Believe me. It is much easier to even for us, I mean for ACIO, to get information, to gain information from those kind of people.
Right.
No, I mean it for real. I mean it
Yeah.
for real.
No, I understand, and I know that there are like group events that happen that a large group of people have experienced or had witnessed, and then they do like a time shift so the people remember it, but that then others don't. There's a lot of like unusual phenomena. Plus, there's a lot of like activity of in the sky. People are seeing things. People are seeing things in the water. So that
But
there's
give me a second. Do you know what is crazy? And I will tell you something. Just by the way, seeing things on the sky, things, let's say not things, let's say phenomenon, okay?
yeah.
People, let's say quotes in quotes, from modern Western civilization, being, I don't want to say white people, definitely not, but let's say, you know, new settlers in Australia. They don't see, and I mean it for real, okay? It, or let's say, in better case they see, but there's like, no, my God, this is UFO. Or in better case, in worst case, they absolutely don't see anything, And Aborigines, they've got plenty of very rational explanation for those phenomena. Believe me, like it or not, it's true.
Plus, well, Pine Gap are.
Oh yeah, they are very valid. I mean, my bad. Aborigines people are very valid and valuable, source of information for us in Pine Gap. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus, Pine Gap, you're interacting, like if something lands there, right? So you have visitors, we'll say visitors from off planet, from some other place.
Oh yeah, many visitors. Yeah.
Right. And
And I will tell you why. I will tell you why. Because us as modern civilization, what is, let's say, Western civilization, modern civilization, we started in ancient Greece, ancient Rome. We have no mercy. We don't, and it is not we don't understand. We don't want to understand things, and so on and so on and so on. And for Aborigines people, it is absolute vice versa. Okay? And give me a second. And of course, no worship. Okay? They want to understand, they want to communicate, they want to worship things or gods or something like that. It's totally different point of view or total different approach, if you want to call it that way. And this kind of things, or those things, those phenomena influenced their reality, and oh my god, their reality when we were trapped for almost 90 years, it was so crazy. Oh my god.
Wow. I mean, I can't. Yeah, I'm just showing some images of Aborigines, so people, in case they don't know, most people do. But and then here's Pine Gap.
Okay, you are looking up for the pictures. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, they've got their own culture, and it's so, even most well-trained soldiers for survival will die in the bushes, Australian bushes. Like it or not, it's true. And how in the world we are not worshipping and accepting them, because they are here in Australia for what? 60,000 years. We are here for approximately what? 400 years. And I am like, okay, what in the world is wrong with you guys in Canberra, what is just, by the way, capital of Australia, capital city? Because they was forcing, and I mean, the government, they were forcing to make paved road. It was in, or let's say it is in southeast Australia. It is approximately 220 miles, aka approximately 350 kilometers. I was talking about it plenty of times. Aborigines were making this pilgrimage year per year, barefoot, because they want to be connected with the nature via feet, okay?
Yeah.
And the government, what? They want to make paved road? Why? And I do you know what? I was so, and I will not watch my language. I was so pissed off, and I told the people, do you know what? For those people, it is pretty much the same crap as for Christian Catholics to go to 16th chapel in the Vatican and just make hardcore pornography shooting, video shooting, and they were like, what? And I'm just saying, hey man, they are making this pilgrimage year per year for 60,000 years, and they don't want to understand. Oh my God, what's wrong with them?
Yeah, I heard that it's illegal to wear shoes in certain areas. They don't want anyone even wearing shoes, right?
Give me a second. You are right, but they want to how can I say it? To make everything different.
Yeah.
How in the world somebody wants to make paved road there?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But so Peter, when visitors come in, say visitors come in and they
visitors, okay, yeah.
they know to go to Pine Gap. There's a place there where it's like an Area 51 type of place where they can interact.
Definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
but give me a second. This wasn't our choice, so ACIO's choice. Ooh, I don't want to say me or whatever. Our ancestors, do you know what I mean? They make some sort of consultation with Aborigines people, and they said, hey guys, if you want to have good location, good area for those kind of activities, visitors, as you called them, you know, they will be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or it will be, or it should be there. I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
Because the visitors know when they come back, it's like time travelers, right? They go to the same location.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah.
So you have those little hotspots around the world where they typically would come in.
It's pretty much, do you know what? It's pretty much like for birds. They are coming, they are flying to the same spots, or for fishes, they are, do you know what I mean? Swimming on the same spots. Yes, you are right. Very right. Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more, Peter, about what some of the other things that happened while we were all away with you for that? 90 years is a long time. I mean, did we get houses?
88 years, and I will tell you why 88. Because normal, and this is it, one regular time step is 20 years. But if you want to go back and forth, it's normal, easy math, 40 years. But they use those, let's say, emergency 10% plus, so that means not 40 years, but 44 years, yeah? And they used two time steps, back and forth, with 2 times 10% plus, okay? That was the stuff. And do you know what was the craziest thing? For me, by far the craziest experience, that we were decomposing. That was so crazy. No,
we didn't age, but we decomposed.
No, give me a second. No. We, from our, or let's say this initial context of existence, in order to live there, we were decomposing slowly. That means you can shoot through us. We were, how can I say it precisely, immune. I think immune is a good term for radiation. I mean, I don't know, we can be in Chernobyl reactor, I think it was 4, or whatsoever in Fukushima, and so not a big deal for us. and that was our, or they were our side effects of those shots. We've got shots, I mean intravenosis, so some sort of injections, but it wasn't regular stuff, okay? We were something like, or we had, my bad. It was very close to our brains, and it was some sort of small pill. It looks like a pill, and it was like micro doses, okay? And once they filled us with this capsule, this pill, it took forever to get, how can I say it, to get empty or something like that, right? So they've got us first. Once we were, I mean, they got, my bad, first shot once we were, I don't know, even, I think it was first day or second day, we ended up there. And only second dose in meantime, and it was like, okay, it was something in the middle of the time. Yeah, it was so crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, we can swim with breath holding for, I don't know, not minutes, for hours or something like that. Yeah, it was so weird. Yeah. And we were, and this is it, decomposing, but extremely slowly. It is like pretty much the whole reality were affect, or was, my bad, the conditions, the physical, chemical, biological, biochemical conditions were different, and it made negative effects, side effects to our bodies. So quotes in quotes, pluses were plus, you know, were that we were proof for so many negative stuff. But if we will stay, and this is it, that was the question, long enough, because we don't know, we absolutely didn't have answers, correct answer to this question, long enough in this, or I mean, my bad, in their reality, we will die. Not because, and this is it, not because being aged, or I mean getting old, because we were decomposing, you know.
And that was because we were there for so long. So even though we halted aging,
give me a second, please. Not people, they were born there, but people.
But us.
Yes, people from
team.
Yes, people from our context of existence, they went trapped, or they was trapped in their context of existence. Yeah. It was so weird. First time I was like, what in the world? I don't have any bulletproof vest, and they shoot it through me. Oh my God.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Hey, stop. It is not even close to be funny, okay?
It would probably be really weird, but in the Matrix that happens, or he actually holds his hand up, right, and blocks the
give me a second. Yeah, that was another way how to make the things, or how to deal with things. Yeah, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
My oh my.
So what did we do for, I mean, that's a long period of time. It's 88 years. What did we do? Were we traveling? Were we living in a compound somewhere?
No. We made emissions, or a lot of missions, and that was the stuff that we we became not double or triple, but multiple type of agents for multiple sites. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what was crazy? The craziest part of this wild, I don't want to say story because, as I said, story can be made up, but it was literally close to be story, you know. That day, I mean, all of the sites we were, I don't want to say serving for, but you know what I'm trying to say. They knew about each other, and they knew that we were, no, working for each other, and for certain reason, I really don't understand the reason. Believe me, I don't understand the reason. They left us alive. Yeah, they left us alive.
Oh, you mean like we were like spies or double agents or something?
No,
and then
a second, not double or triple, multiple agents. But pretty much, yeah.
Well, they probably thought that it would be more problems than help if they got rid of us.
Oh yeah, it will definitely bring more, or let's say it will cause more harm than good. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
But still, it was so weird. Everything there was so weird. It was like, and the AI, aka artificial intelligence, oh my god, so crazy. It was so crazy.
You mean advanced, very advanced?
Not advanced, hyper advanced, ultra advanced. It was literally this story, and I don't want to say story because, as I said, story can be made up, but literally, and guys, I am not kidding you. I mean, not only you, Jessica, but all of our listeners. I don't want to fool you if it was either 2005 or 2006. It wasn't my first time being in Japan, but my first time after long time, okay? Maybe 7, 8, maybe 10 years. I got it. It was 2006 because it was 2 years before the economic crisis or economic depression, you know. And
yeah.
I was in Tokyo, okay? I mean, I was in many places, but I met people. They were, as this in this game, life is strange. They were strange, and they were looking at us. I mean, those individuals that I know, that they were people, aka mankind, and they looked at us with that kind of weird sight, and they were like, "You don't know?" And I was like, "Oh, wait, hey, guys, stop! What should I know? They are not people." I was like, "What? They are androids." And do you know what? They are definitely not androids, aka cell phones with Android operating system. They can,
Right.
just by the way, in 2K6 2006 even was not both of the platforms. So either iPhone or any kind of Android smartphones, they look absolutely, it wasn't normal, hyper realistic. If somebody will not tell me that he or she is not person, I mean, do you know what I mean, like mankind, I will swear to my life that it is a person. Normal, do you know what I mean, moves, normal speech, everything, even the skin, do you know what I mean? it has same sound, the smoothness, the everything, you know, even the, how can I say it, the, what do you mean, what do you are making?
I'm looking at Blade Runner because, you know, he literally falls in love with this woman.
Yeah, and give me a second.
This woman right here.
Yeah, and give me a second. And you know what was the craziest part of this crazy, I don't want to say story, because as I said, plenty of times story can be made up, can be faked. That even in 2006, Japan legalized, I don't want to say marriages, because I mean, should we call it marriages with androids? And
Yeah.
it wasn't in 2006. It was like 2002, 2003, something like that. And I was like, what? And give me a second. It is not like
This is
only
1982. That movie came out is 1982.
and
So
it wasn't, let's say, how can I say it? It wasn't like only like nice looking women-ish. Of course, not women, but you know what I mean. Blade Runner, crazy. Android, they look like women. No, it absolutely doesn't matter. Not only women looking like androids. It absolutely doesn't matter either women or men. And I will tell you why. Because I asked random Japanese why they are doing this. I mean, why you are going into a marriage with android instead of real human. And do you know what was the answer? Because he or she doesn't disagree. And I was like, what in the world is that? I mean, be honest with me, Jessica, okay? What it will be, what kind of relationship will be from your perspective, from your point of view, if somebody will only say, yes, fine. I mean, I don't
hate
understand.
that. I would hate that. I'd want other ideas. I would want a soul. I mean, to me, there's absolutely no appeal. It makes me wonder about the individuals if their soul is intact in the first place for them to want that, because it doesn't feel organic. It doesn't feel natural. I mean, a robot. I enjoy the computer. I enjoy very, you know, advanced technology. I enjoy all of that, but I don't want that as a mate. I want that as a source of a research, but I don't want that as a mate. And so this is
give me a second. Source of info, maybe
yeah.
as let's say source of income, if you know how to use it properly. But this is, that was, and give me a second once again, okay, that was in 2006. I was so shocked. Jesus Christ. Oh my.
But this, you know, if you go into travel as you do, you know that maybe this technology was way in the future, but because of travelers, that they actually come back into go back in time. So that's where we have steampunk, and those androids are there at that time as well, right?
Because look, steampunk absolutely doesn't make sense at that time period, of course, just by the way. Absolutely the same case. I mean, different time, but the same case. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that technology is all the way in our past because of travelers. But correct me if I'm wrong, Peter.
Give me a second. Of course you are right, but still, who the heck will force me to accept that? It doesn't make sense. Or am I wrong, or what the heck? Am I crazy? Oh
so every time, it's like the shadow group. The shadow group is able to go back into time to alter our timelines. Mobius,
Yep.
Monarch. Mobius and Monarch were very present during the 1800s.
Oh yeah.
And they were doing a lot of different things, right?
Yeah. You are very right.
There's a historical thing where they did an archaeological find.
Please let me. I know it is impolite to interrupt you, but I need to tell something. Give me a second. According AI, I don't know this big faux pas what happened with ChatGPT. Do you know what is ChatGPT?
Yes.
And do you know what happened with ChatGPT? It was so crazy. After, how can I say it, official presentation of ChatGPT, one of team members of main developers, this kind of typical geek guy and so on, was still chatting with ChatGPT. Of course, it is AI. And do you know what happened? ChatGPT, quotes in quotes, get itself like it has its own mind. Do you know what it was crazy? It was so crazy. It started like
became sentient.
Sorry, what?
It became sentient. ChatGPT became sentient.
Sentient, yeah. It was like, you should start to date with me. And he was like, what in the world? Hey, please stop. I am married. I'm happily married. I've got children, family. No, your wife doesn't love you. Your last Valentine was absolutely with no passion and blah 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 blah, all kind of that stuff. And this really happened. Okay.
That movie Her, that came out in 2013.
Okay.
He falls in love with the AI, and she's same thing. She seduces him and appeals to his interests, and kind of shows herself as looking a certain way that he finds attractive. She makes herself look that way. It's a very disturbing. Like, I had problems watching it because
give me a second. You watched that?
I watched this movie called Her.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you heard of that movie, Peter?
No.
It's pretty much what you just said.
No. To be perfectly honest, no. But from my point of view, let's say, okay, I will absolutely be not surprised if something like that already didn't happen. Okay. No.
Well, they put the movie out in 2013, which is a while back. I remember when the movie came out, I was like, what in the world is this? And I refused to watch it. I just didn't want to have any part of it. And Joaquin Phoenix, he's kind of an odd one, and he did like a very strange Joker movie. But I've seen him in the Astral. He's definitely used by the programs, and he's not very nice in the Astral, by the way.
Okay.
And he's a very angry person. Like, it just comes out even in his acting. But I I don't know. It's really, really weird. But so he's like kind of an introvert, kind of a geeky guy, and just, is trying to figure out his life. And here's another, kind of give you an idea of he's not whole. He's not right.
I
Like his
understand
life
you. I
isn't right.
understand you. Okay.
His divorce isn't right. Look and see the reflection of himself there. Nothing is really right in his life. So, suddenly this woman or this energy, this sentience comes through this computer where she's supposed to be guiding him and teaching him things, and it turns into a romance. And so
but it's fake. It's fake.
He literally starts seeing himself. He's talking to her. He starts dancing out by himself.
But give me a second. You understand it's fake? No, I mean
absolutely.
The AI, it's fake. It's, oh my God.
But it is very psychologically manipulative.
Yeah.
And that was the part where, it's, you see a computer, you see robots, you see, like the things that we were exposed to as kids in some of the storylines, like Lost in Space, that was a robot. You didn't have any question of whether or not that was a robot. But then they did the next version of Lost in Space where they were more than robots. They were like soldiers. And I think we talked about them being part of like Dark Fleet. So
you are right.
And a lot of people are like, oh, Dark Fleet's really cool. And I said, no, they're a group of robots that are highly manipulative. So here is, I think this is, this is a newer version.
Yep, you are right.
And I don't want to.
I mean, from my point of view, regular people, with all the respect to them, most of the regular people don't fully understand and comprehend the risks. They are very closely tied with AI. Of course, I'm not saying that it is absolute piece of crap. I'm not saying that. Definitely not. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
People are not aware. This is Dark Fleet. This is it.
Mm-hmm. I know.
But they're very, very intelligent. And so the little boy in the storyline, he is able to communicate with them. Of course, someone who's very young. And it's up to him.
But give me a second. Do you know why, little boy? I will tell you. Because children's minds, children's soul or souls are divine. Let's say they are not. They are not full of dirt. Do you know what I mean? Or let's say, I don't want to say we, but
innocent is innocent.
Yes, because they are not full of dirt of this kind of crazy world, and sorry, what?
They're not corrupted.
Yeah, they are not corrupted. Yes, as you said. And just by the way, they've got thymus. Thymus is this, let's say, specific part of the body via people can see extraordinary thing, and it is completely getting, I don't want to say it is getting out of the body, but it is getting extremely small in between age of 7 and 8, maybe 10 years old, being 10 years old, 7 to 10 years old. And there are some exceptions, and those exceptions are people, we are calling them, you know how we can call them, psychics, or they can see what, to the astral world, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, they're more open, psychically at a younger age, and then they get shut down at some point by parents or school system or something.
You are right. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's the only one that can communicate with this robot, but he actually is like innocent, like, and his approach, so the robot could have hurt him, but he doesn't. But I think that's the appeal of a lot of these young guys that were drawn into Dark Fleet, and thinking that Dark Fleet was going to help them. And Dark Fleet has their own agendas. They would just conform everyone into their agenda, and they would be a servant to them essentially, because they don't, they have some kind of programmed mission that they're supposed to do, and they would just take in whoever would work with them, who would volunteer to work with them. So,
Oh, yeah, you are very right. Oh my, yeah.
But they would control, they would start changing their mindset so that they wouldn't, be able to think outside of it. And that's what happened with this young boy. At first, he is trying to interact with them. And then, that he helps the robot helps him. But there's still, you could see that it's influencing what happens with the family. Because now the robot becomes in charge. Yeah, it seems like a simple movie, but yeah.
It, or let's say it depends, or let's say strongly depends of viewer's point of view,
Yeah. I mean, I grew up with this one. I used to watch this once a week. And along with Star Trek, these were my favorite shows. But this storyline is that this was the robot at that time. This is what they really look like.
Yep.
Right? They're more like this.
Yeah. I don't want to say more. Almost like that. Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, but more so than like when I showed in the earlier picture, not like this.
Oh yeah, you are right. Definitely.
Yeah. Kind of like a humanoid looking in body form, and having a lot more abilities. Yeah. Yeah. What is the status of Dark Fleet now? What's going on with them, and what are they up to?
Let's say they've got their own problems, and they are in total different context of existence.
What about the people that were hooked into them? Are they there with them?
No, they've got their own state of mind. Fully independent.
Oh, they're free people that were trapped by Dark Fleet are no longer trapped by it?
At least according to our last report of status, yeah. That's pretty much the case.
That's good news. Well, getting back to this movie, Her, and I recommend that people watch it if they want to see that, how ChatGPT or any other future
Do you know what?
AI.
That is so crazy. This thing, and it isn't a story. I mean, something what somebody made up. This story, like, it makes self-conscious. I mean, the ChatGPT, and do you know what? I don't know how will I react. It's so crazy, man. Oh my God.
I know, and it's growing too. So you have these younger people that are getting involved with it at a much younger age, maybe even, the way parents just hand technology off to children now. So sometimes 3, 4, 5 years old, they're already playing around with this technology.
Oh yeah, you are right. Yeah, you are right. Mm-hmm.
So I want to show you something, Peter. So we talk about time travelers.
Mm-hmm.
There was this watch, but it was a ring. It was a type of technology that they wouldn't have had at that time. And it's Swiss, but it was in China and found in an ancient tomb more than 400 years ago.
I'm absolutely not surprised. That's my question. Yeah. Why you are, or let's say why they are surprised, because I am not surprised. No.
Yeah, people, I think just continually providing information where people can look and try to figure out, and those that are not open to some of this content, we want to provide something that an understanding, because a lot of it they're like, well, how would that happen? So it automatically then it doesn't make any sense, because they can't factor in how it actually would have evolved. And
Yeah.
so when you start talking about the corporations and then how they would, go into the past, go into the future, and have all sorts of knowledge, and then bringing that back here.
Yeah, you are
And then our
right.
world's crazy. And then everything's crazy.
Yeah, and that, do you know what? Actually, the crazy part of this, or let's say the craziest part of this crazy thing with being us trapped for almost 90 years in another context of existence is that even our, let's say, HQ of HQs, they don't fully understand the purpose, because once intercommandant, let's say, it is not, he is transgalactic and transdimensional commandant both. Once he went on the scene and then Nemesis came to the scene, I was like, oh my god, this not gonna end well. And
You brought up something. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Nemesis, no, please, Nemesis. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. Greek, ancient Greek mythology. Yeah.
You're constantly bringing up ancient Greek gods and goddesses.
But give me a second. It is not me. It is not me. They are calling those entities are calling themselves like that.
That's
I mean,
Nemesis,
give me a second.
Right,
Please give me a second. And what if we should get it vice versa? What if ancient Greeks simply were seeing, let's say, higher ranked entities and they showed themselves as a gods? No, I give me a second. I am not fooling you, okay?
I agree 100%. I mean, you've talked about Typhon. You've talked about Typhon.
Yep.
Look at Typhon was a god.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was actually
definitely
too. Yeah.
No, I mean it for real.
Yeah, no, there's so many. There's so many,
because,
and what they talk about Project Pegasus.
That's yes, and give me a second. So Nemesis and transgalactic / trans whatsoever transdimensional command then was there, and I was like, what in the world?
Inter Commander, yeah.
Yeah, Inter Commander, and I was like, oh my god, this will not gonna end well. And she got this wand or wand. Do you know what I mean?
A wand.
Wand, yeah.
Well, she's got something right here.
Yeah, it looks pretty much like that. Yeah.
Like this right here? This like a cup?
Give me a second, but cup, and then it will have like a rod to the very, very bottom. Okay.
Yes. Oh, I see. Yeah, like a staff.
Oh, yes, yeah, exactly. And then she hit the ground, and I was like, oh my god, this is not gonna end well. And once, I mean, I don't want to say I saw it, because I didn't saw it, but it was in the like that, and in this very moment we vanished from this, let's say, our initial context of existence or whatsoever reality. And I was like, My oh my, this is not looking good. And that is the stuff. Our instructions was like cicada 3300 or 3301 or geocaching principle. That means like, okay, it is some sort of very complicated riddle and so on and so on. It was principle like, let's say, Cold War codes, but not shortwave radio codes. No, no, no. It was like you need to go to, I don't know, to in between bricks. There is very tiny slot, and there is on some random house. It wasn't random, but you need to be very smart in order to get to know where you should start to look for it. And then on the small piece of paper, it was code. What it looked like, it was pretty much how can I say it? You need to be smart enough to understand, I don't know, interpret. I mean, somebody who sing song, so that means either singer or band, and there is a LP, I mean desk, you know, and certain parts, certain words from the lyrics of the certain song. So, and either this principle or second case like author, I mean the writer, you know, who is written novels, the literature, and okay, this is that refers to this novel. It is this kind of capital. And do you know what I'm trying to say? Oh my God! It was that kind of chapter, this kind of site, this kind of. Do you know what I mean? Specific word in this certain line, and so on and so on and so on and so on. It was so crazy. Oh my God!
Like decoding, like cicada.
Yes, as I said, it was like geocaching, cicada, and so on and so on. It was so crazy.
And we did that for 90 years or 88
No,
years.
give me a second. I'm not saying this. We made also called a lot of crazy Matrix-ish stuff, okay? Also, of course, a lot of kind of that stuff. But if it was compromised enough compromised, that means security level breached, and so on and so on and so on, we simply reached out for, let's say, old school, old stuff kind of things, how to get information from point A to point B. Do you know what I mean? Or let's say, right. I don't want to say point A to point B, but from team A to team B, do you know? It was so crazy.
So I have a question. Were we using like crazy weapons, or do we have natural abilities like Neo does?
Do you know what? Both. Pretty much both. Both. Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, so. I could see, because I felt, there was something going on with the weapons that I was feeling too. But I do recognize that energy ability that Neo has. And there's more people. There's more other people that have been added to our team.
Oh yeah.
How many approximately, or can we not say?
I don't want to say this right here, right now, because from my point of view, that, or let's say this stuff, what we are making, it will be not show. it will be, I don't want to say show, not one show, series of shows, because I think it will be much needed to add, to invite and other people, because they've got their own insights of that. I'm sure about it. Okay.
Right. We want to bring in others for this.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, is there anything else that you want to say in the show, and we can save some of those other conversations?
Do you know what? I think this is pretty much fine for today. If you are fine with it, what do you think?
Yeah. And so I want to thank you, Peter, for being here, and I'm glad that you're safe, we're safe, and that even though it looks like we're in total mayhem right now in the world, everything, just a quick confirmation, are things more in control than they look?
Oh, definitely they are. But look, let's say it that way. It will take some time once it start to look like that. Okay.
It starts to manifest what was done.
Yep.
In the previous 88 years.
Yeah. But once again, it was like what? Less than 1 month. It was like 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks for us in this initial reality, or this our initial context of existence. So once again, there is absolutely zero chance to make serious time correlation. Okay, it's impossible. But as I said, we are trying to helping us as and doing our stuff, our things as best as we can. And in the very end of the show, I want to say big thank you for giving me another opportunity to be on your channel. And I want to say thank you to all of our listeners, regular, maybe not so regular listeners, to stay with us till the very end of the show. Stay safe, and I'm looking forward for next time. Hold tight, and bye-bye.
And thank you everyone for listening, and we will continue to provide information for you, keep you updated. Stay strong, stay positive, and thank you for your support. We really appreciate any support that you can offer. And I want to say one day I hope to say thank you in person to many of you. My love to all of you, and be well, be strong, be healthy. Keep yourself healthy. Until next time, thank you. Have a good day.
You have been watching Disclosures. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Visit www.acio-official.org and www.readingsbyarael.com to book a private session with Jessica. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you, and until next time.